So, I've got a question for you. Is it really obvious that there's been nowhere to get a haircut for over 3 months? What do you think?
You gotta go. Go before you don't. You gotta go. Go before you don't. You wanna see the pyramids, the Eiffel Tower, anything you want, baby, got the power. Go before you don't. You gotta go.
I'm gonna put a hat on so you don't have to see that hair this entire video. That's better. So, lockdown. COVID-19, That's been a bit of a shit show, hasn't it? Well, in the UK at least. Things aren't great here, but we are opening up with relatively no spikes as far as I'm aware. Scotland especially is doing very, very well. But man, it's been crap, hasn't it? I mean, we've been quite lucky actually because, well, we were actually in Canada when it started. And weirdly, we had already made the decision to leave Canada and come back to Scotland just before the pandemic started. I remember when we were there, we were working in a hotel called the Fairmont, and there was rumours, or there was people talking about it, and there was kind of a bit of awareness, but not much. And we decided to come home for totally separate reasons, but as it turns out, we would have had to have come home anyway because we wouldn't have been able to continue working. So I think it all worked out exactly the way it was supposed to, and we've been staying back at my family home with my parents for the past 3 months, and it's been good. We've been very, very lucky because my parents actually have 2 self-catering cottages that they normally rent out to tourists, but since there has been no tourists, Kalisi and I have occupied one of these buildings. Also, my little brother and his girlfriend have been staying in the second one, whilst my parents have been staying in the big house. It's been good. Plus, we are living on the Isle of Skye, which it's not hard on the eyes. It's a pretty beautiful place and one of the most popular places for people to visit when they come to Scotland, so we do feel very, very lucky for that. This is 11:30 on the 12th of July 2020. The quietest you will ever see the main street here in Portree in the middle of July. It's madness. On a regular day this time of year, you wouldn't even be able to walk along the pavement like I'm doing now. You'd have to, like, most of the time people are out on the road, which makes driving through this street a total nightmare. The place isn't big enough for the amount of tourists that we get normally. Not this year. 11:30. It's not. I'm not up at 7 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning to get this shot. It is 11:30 and it's this quiet. On a regular year, this junction here is one of the worst. If you're coming down this hill behind me and you get to this junction here, it can be an absolute nightmare to go both directions. It's normally easier to go left, but if you want to go right, oh man, you could be sitting there for hours. I came down one time, probably about the same time last year, and took this clip of 3 massive coaches trying to squeeze past each other on this corner. And no joke, I was sitting there for about 15-20 minutes just waiting for them to get past each other, because again, the village is so small and these coaches are huge. The roads are not designed for coaches. Hands down, the most annoying thing that happens on a regular year here when all the tourists come to visit, they all stand alongside this wall here. Now, there's no actual pavement like there is on this side of the road. So if you're driving from this direction here, it can be an absolute nightmare like that car just did there. because if there's another car coming in the other direction, you have to go onto their side of the road just so you don't hit the tourists that are standing all alongside the wall there. It can be, I'm telling you, it can be really frustrating. But I do understand, because the reason they're standing over here is because this is where the view is. As I was demonstrating to you what they do and how much of a nuisance they are when they stand there, I actually inadvertently became a nuisance myself to a van that was just coming from the other direction, and now I feel like a total hypocrite. But to be fair, it was only for informational purposes that I was standing there, so not really my fault.
Hey Brucey! Hey Brucey! What are we doing? Bruce, we're gonna go see Kalisi? We're gonna see Kalisi?
So Bruce and I are just on our way to pick up Kalisi from work. She's working in that building right there, the Rosedale Hotel, right on the pier in front of the water. It's a really, really good location. We were both actually working there last year, and the plan was to be working there this year, saving up money over summer. However, because of the bloody pandemic, her first day, which was yesterday, should have been at the end of March. So like 3 months late, but she has finally started work in there. Unfortunately, the restaurant section of the hotel hasn't opened, and that's where I was mainly based. I was working behind the bar last year. Kalisi is working on reception, so there are hours for her in there. Hopefully in August, the restaurant section will be open and I'll have a few bar shifts at night in there as well. This little guy, he just wants to go down to the shore and splash in the water. He's mad about stones, my dog. Not a fan of sticks. He won't chase a stick. Not if you paid him, but you throw some stones, he absolutely loves it. And one of his favourite things is to catch the splashes when you throw rocks into the water. So he's been trying to drag me down there for like 10 minutes now, so I think I'll give him like 10 minutes in the water before Kalisi comes out.
Bruce, do you want to go? You want to throw stones? Want to throw stones? Right, you ready?
Sometimes I wish I could just like mute him, just like, you know, like an episode of Black Mirror or something, just boop, and just he'd be like, in fact he'd be like this. Or if I could just like change the noise. I wouldn't have to mute him, I'd just change the noise so it was something a bit more pleasant, like this. Yeah, that's much better. Bruce, we're gonna go and get Kalisi. Go get Kalisi.
There she is. Come on, she's here.
I heard him barking like a crazy mad dog.
Yeah.
I heard you barking like a crazy mad dog. What are you barking?
Mad dog Brucey. Right, you've had your walk. What do you want now? One of these? Bruce, sit. Good boy.